Damn, the hair's so big, I'm starting to look like Megamind. Hey, last night, Monday Night Raw did exactly what they needed to do for Netflix. And I think it was a perfect show for what it was. Last night, Monday Night Raw debuted on Netflix, and the show was of a high caliber. It was one of the most entertaining WWE Monday Night Raws I've seen in 15 years. I think WWE did a good job showcasing what their product is to a possibly a new, larger audience. Well, obviously I would say a larger audience, right? But maybe you're tuning into Netflix, you're looking for something on, you're like, oh, wrestling's on? Let's check it out. Turn it on, flip it on. It was a sampler for what WWE can be. So much so that the very first match, the Tribal Combat match, was essentially the same match that we saw at WrestleMania between Cody Rhodes and Roman. The overbooked Avengers in-game finish. It's perfect. It's exactly what it needed to be. People need to see the unpredictableness of pro wrestling. And if you're tuning in for the first time and you haven't seen the WrestleMania match, you're like, whoa, this is crazy. Everybody's here. Everybody's getting in on this. Perfect. That's exactly what you want to do. I don't feel like necessarily this audience, I don't feel like this show is necessarily for the week in, week out WWE audience. While I do expect there to be an overlap in the things that new fans like and old fans like, there wasn't a lot of like lore, which WWE's show has been a lot of lore based, a lot of talking, a lot of backstage promos building up the stories. Now, this one, I want to say the show wasn't necessarily like a big payoff show, but in some instances it was. But it was mostly focusing on the matches. Now, there were only like 4 matches over the 3 hours. I would like to see a little more matches, but this really felt like, my friend Steven pointed out in our group chat, it felt like a Pro Bowl or a Super Bowl aspect. Not Super Bowl as in like it's the top show of the year where the champions are decided and yada yada yada, which, there were champions decided with Rhea Ripley. But it felt like a celebration of pro wrestling and what pro wrestling can be. That's my positives about the show. As a pro wrestling commentator, as a talking head in the pro wrestling space, I want to give my negatives as well. Obviously, Hulk Hogan, we'll actually use this as a transition because it's a negative, but also a positive. Hulk Hogan getting booed, very funny, very good. Great job, Los Angeles. Obviously, not a good thing to wheel him out and promote his brand and then the Netflix brand to a sea of boos. Hopefully everyone at Netflix, the executives that they kept showing throughout the night, saw, maybe we don't put Hulk Hogan on the television anymore. He doesn't seem to be too over. Fair enough, right? Do that. Don't put Hulk Hogan on television anymore. Some of the other negatives, I want more matches. I thought the matches that they did have were fine, but 3-hour wrestling show, I want a little more wrestling. I think that's fair. But maybe with their attempt to bring in the more casual fan, they wanted to highlight more celebrities and say, oh, well, here's celebrities. Celebrities like wrestling. Celebrities are cool. Buy the transitive property. Wrestling's cool. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that was the idea. Also a new positive that I wanted to point out was the drone shots. More drone shots. I love it. The last thing I want to talk about is consistency, though. WWE has the ability to do shows like this. As we saw last night, obviously they can run a very good show. So do we expect that from them moving forward? I'll be honest, most of the Monday Night Raws as of late have been kind of a slog to get through for me. It's not really been my cup of tea. But last night's show showed that WWE can do things differently. I mean, even look at the match structure, right? The match structure in so many of the matches were just what you would call your American independent style that people like to say that to put down a professional wrestling style. I just call it the new American style of pro wrestling. A lot of kickouts, a lot of near falls, a lot of false finishes, a lot of finisher spamming, which is cool. Guess what? The fans love that stuff. Did you see them pop every single time? I did. So I just want people to realize that if we're going to be ideologically consistent here on the matter, that's a lot of the things that AEW does that they get a lot of flack for. I don't mind it. I think it's great. I enjoy that. I enjoy a good pop. I enjoy having a good near fall, watching the crowd react. Good stuff. Not a problem for me. But now we've established that WWE can do that. They can but will they? I hope so, right? I really do hope this new venture into Netflix brings about a new style, a new feel to Monday Night Raw. Obviously, it's the first show. See what happens. We'll hang on to that thought. And also, I just want to finish on this one. I love the fact that Triple H did the beginning narration, and he was like, heel, face, what do you say, work, shoot, like all those things. All the wrestling jargon. I don't mind. A lot of it. So there's some people who are upset about it, but whatever. But the thing that I love is Triple H is such a diva. He's such just a he is a prima donna. The fact that he did the narration of the opening thing to reveal himself in the middle of the ring with a singular spotlight. He literally did the promo to lead into his in-ring promo with a singular spotlight on him in the ring. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Triple H, he's kind of a mark for himself. Dude, that's so funny. It's like, he really wants you to know who's in charge. And I love that. I think it's really cute. Anyways, remember, pro wrestling's predetermined. Your life isn't. Go do something great today. We'll see you next time. Boom.